Hello fellow makeup lovers, how are you guys doing today? So I'm super excited for this video because I'm going to be doing a first impression on a new palette from Focallure Beauty. Actually, I don't know if it's new, but it's new to me. So this is the Secret palette. They reached out to me and asked me if I would like to try PR from them. And I had a look on their website and I saw this palette and I died, of course, because it just screams me. Like, I love the color scheme so much. There's like a really beautiful like minty green, there's a bright mid-tone green, a deeper like tealish, and then there's like this really grungy brownie shade, and then there's also a beautiful variety of shimmers. I did go ahead and swatch this one, Magnifique, because I could not help myself. It was just so beautiful. I like had to dig my little finger in there, but I figured we can go ahead and do my normal first impression format and just do some swatches, and then I'll try a look and tell you how I feel. I'm so excited about it because it's so beautiful. It does have a little mirror. It's just a nice tiny little like hand size 9-pan palette, perfect size. So I'm so excited to jump in. Actually, let me look really quickly and let you know what the price of this is. I remember it being pretty affordable, but since I didn't pay for it myself, the actual price escapes me. Alright, so it normally retails for $15, but they actually have it on sale on their website right now for $9.99. I'm not sure if it'll still be on sale when I post this video since I'm kind of pre-filming a little bit, but let's just go ahead and jump right into swatches. Let me grab a baby wipe so I'm prepared. Alright, so first we have Cool Mint, which is like a minty soft green. Looks like it has decent pigmentation. There's Starlit, which is kind of like a taupey silvery shimmer. It feels pretty creamy. It actually has a little bit of an olive undertone to it. And then Avocado, which is a nice bright green. The mattes feel pretty creamy as well. Next we have Galaxy, which is like a deeper green metallic. Mojito, which is like a kind of like a goldy green, and then Secret Garden, which is like navy blue. Next we have Magnifique, which is the shade that I already swatched because I just couldn't help myself. It is so beautiful. It has a warm base, like a very rich warm base, and then it has this beautiful goldy green duochrome to it, and it has sparkles throughout it. It's such a beautiful shade. It doesn't feel quite as pigmented as some of the other shades. It feels almost more like a topper, but it is a really cool duochrome. And then we have Forest Green, which is a mid-tone kind of green. I thought it was a little bit deeper, but seeing it swatched out, it looks pretty bright. And then Enchanted, which looks like a nice deepening brown, but it has kind of that olivey. Oh yeah, it has a nice olive undertone to it. Alright, so there are all the shades. I think it looks really beautiful, and I can't wait to get it on my eyes. So I already primed my eyes with the Ofra gel primer, but I'm going to go ahead and before I do my eyes, I'm just going to prep my skin a little bit by going with some moisturizer. I'm going to be using the Waterfall moisturizer from Saturday Skin. They actually sent me the this is their Everyday Glow Kit through Octoly, which I have been like meaning to use and like incorporate. I thought I'd bring it as like my travel skincare. It's just kind of the struggle with Octoly because like when you get skincare, it's like you only have a certain amount of time to review it. Or I mean, I guess you could do a first impression, but that's not really helpful. So it's like I want to be able to give full thoughts and full review, and I need, you know, enough time to see how my skin really reacts. But this is just a soft, like jelly moisturizer is kind of what it feels like. Like, not jelly, but it's just like the consistency is more water-based, I think is how I would describe it. It doesn't feel like a cream as much. So I'm just going to go ahead and prep my skin with that so it's nice and moisturized, and I will follow up if you'd like to see my thoughts on, like, I have, what is in here? This is the Waterfall, which is the moisturizer, but then I also have Rub-a-Dub, which is a refining peel gel, Wide Awake, which is a brightening eye cream, all about that life. Rise and Shine is a gentle cleanser, and then the Cotton Cloud is a probiotic power mask. So that's like the little thing in the back. It's like a one-time use. So I will follow up very soon once I get back from my trip on how I feel about that. But now let's just go ahead and jump on into the palette. I'm going to start off with the shade Cool Mint. I'm just going to go ahead and pop that into my crease as my first transition shade. Right off the bat, pretty good pigmentation. It looks like a pastel green. I'm just imagining now, obviously I'm going to go in with a bunch of shades, but if you used the shade Starlit and you just put Cool Mint all through the crease and then through that lighter shimmer on the lid, I think that would be a really beautiful, simple look. I'm going to go ahead and grab a touch of Avocado. There's definitely a little bit of kickback in the pan, but I'm just going to go ahead and throw that a little bit lower down in my crease. I feel like the pigmentation looks good. It's definitely really showing up. You can see it, but it's almost a little bit thinner. I just feel like I compare every bluey, greeny, whatever palette to the Menagerie Whale Song now, which does have its cons because it stains atrociously, but the way that those mattes perform is they just look so thick and opaque when you lay them down, and I just compare everything else to that. But this is looking really good, especially with how affordable it is. It's showing up, it's blending. I guess it's just a little bit on the softer side. It looks a little thinner. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and grab this shade right here called Forest Green, and I'm going to stick that directly into my crease to kind of build up this depth a little bit. Just kind of bringing it all through, kind of blending. I'll go back in with my previous brush in a moment. This pan, I feel like, is not having quite as much kickback as the other ones. I'm not having to tap my brush off. I'm going to go back in with a touch more of Cool Mint just to blend the outside a little bit more. So I really want that color to be apparent. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and grab Enchanted, and I'm going to use that on my outer V to kind of deepen it up a little bit. That pan definitely has some kickback. That looks nice and deep. Just going to go ahead and just blend in circular motions. I really like the tone of this. It's very grungy, but it's deepening everything up really well while still keeping it green. Again, just going to go in with my previous brush and lightly blend that edge there. Alright, so now for the fun part, the shimmers. I think I'm going to go ahead and start off with Mojito for the 2/3 of my lid this way. And then I'm going to take Magnifique and kind of put it on the first third and blend it in and kind of give everything that little, that really beautiful shift. So I think that should be pretty. I don't really know what kind of brush to use with these. Alright, I grabbed a really flat, kind of dense brush, and I'm just picking up some of Mojito. Okay, not that brush. Alright, I'm grabbing a flat brush. Let's see. That was a little bit better. I don't know. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna grab a brush that has a little bit more texture to it and see if that'll pick it up. Okay, alright, I think we've got a contender here. I'm kind of wiggling it in the pan. It's just that the shadows feel so cream-like, so you have to kind of get them to be picked up, but yeah, that looks much better. A really beautiful texture. Probably be easiest just to use your finger, but if you want to use a brush, this kind of brush. This is the Crown C510. It's just a flatter packing brush, but it has, you know, a little bit of denseness, a little bit of texture. I can feel the fallout falling down on my face, but this is my first time doing my eyes first in a really long time, and it feels pretty freeing. Alright, I'm gonna grab my previous brush and just lightly blend the edges around that shade. I think I'm gonna pick it up just a little bit on my finger. Yeah, that does so much more. Just because these kind of feel like cream shadows, so. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and wipe my finger off just a touch, and then I'm going to go into the shade Magnifique. This one right here. And I'm just going to go ahead and make it easy for myself and use my finger. And I'm going to tap that onto the front of my lid and see what happens. Well, it has a really, really beautiful, like, electric green shift to it. Especially when it goes over the gold. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's a little messy. There's some fallout, but it looks beautiful. Alright, so that's how the eye is looking so far. I'm going to go ahead and finish up like most of my base products, and then I'll be right back. Alright, so I normally always show my highlighter and stuff, but I kind of got carried away because I did like this box of products that I really want to use up and finish and get out of my collection. Basically because have been building my dream Ulta cart because I plan on using my points, and there's a few concealers, a foundation that I kind of have my eye on, but I'm like, I need to get through some of these things, so I kind of took them out, and most of them are like at least halfway finished or more. So today I used a cream bronzer, and then I used the Pure Cheek Stain in the shade Rosé for my blush, and then I used the ColourPop Lunch Money Super Shock Cheek for my highlight, which is very, very stunning. I am forever trying to finish this stupid highlighter up. I say that lightly. It's a beautiful, beautiful highlighter, but it keeps going and going and going and going and going, and it's so hard to use up. So I'm working on it. Alright, so to finish up my lower lash line, I think I'm going to go ahead and start off with this deeper green metallic called Galaxy. I'm picking it up on a really tiny brush, so I'm not really sure how this is going to work, if I'm going to be able to put it on the lower lash line, but I'll try. So I'm just going to go ahead and smudge this all along the outer half of my lower lash line. It's showing up, so that's good. Now I'm going to go ahead and take that taupey olivey shade Starlit, and I'm going to pop that onto the front of my lower lash line right here. That is really pretty. If you're wondering, I'm using the Morphe M508. Alright, so this palette doesn't really have a like inner corner highlighting shade. You could probably use Starlit if you wanted to, if you were going in with deeper tones on the lid. But I'm just going to go ahead and I did a little custom single shadow inner corner palette. So I'm going to go ahead and take this shade right here, which is Limelight from Looksy Beauty. And I'm just going to go ahead and pop that onto my inner corner. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and finish up my eyes with the Appeal Gel Liner in the shade Deep Taupe, my Too Faced Better Than Sex Mascara, and then I'll be right back. Alright, so last but not least for lips, I'm going to go ahead and grab the Marc Jacobs Gloss in the shade Cream and Sugar. This is also one of the products in that little box, so just going to go ahead and do a glossy lip. A nude glossy lip, who would have guessed? Alright guys, so this is the finished look with the palette, and I think it turned out really beautiful. I have some thoughts I figured I would share real quick just from my first time using this. I think that it is a nice palette, especially for the price. I think that it's really, really affordable, and it's a great way to get your hands on some greens if you're looking for affordable greens. I feel like there's some pros and there's some cons to this. For example, the shimmers, like there's so many beautiful options and they are stunning and sparkly and magical, but you're definitely going to get some fallout, and I find them to be a little bit messy. They apply so much better with your finger. If you're using them with a brush, you're going to have to really pack them on just because they almost feel like a cream shadow. I feel like the mattes all blended so well. But I would say that they build up. Like, I have a nice gradient on my eye, but I just think you're going to have to layer it up a little bit more if you don't have a super light skin tone. So that is definitely something to keep in mind. I would be curious to see these swatched on a deeper skin tone and see how they look and everything like that. I don't think I've seen any videos on this, but I also haven't looked, so I'll have to go search and see what I can find just out of my own curiosity. I think overall it's a really beautiful curation of shadows. I think that you've got some really good solid green tones in here. I really like the deepening shade Enchanted. I think that it did a really it did a really good job of deepening everything up, but it has such a beautiful olive undertone that it still looks really, really deep and rich and green. So yeah, I think this shade Magnifique is probably my favorite just because, like I said, I think it's a topper shade. I'm only going to use this as a topper from now on. Even the front half of the lid, I had to really build it up for that shade to show up. But if you put it over other things, I feel like it just adds the most electric, bright neon green shift, which is so cool and fun to have and very versatile. At least in my opinion. I'm always here for a green shift, of course. So that's basically my thoughts on the palette so far. Of course, that's just one time using it, but I did use, let me see, I used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I used every shade except for Secret Garden, so I feel like I got a good feeling for it, but I plan on doing a, I know I'm a mess, but I'm going to do a Battle of the Green palettes soon. It's just that video takes me a really long time to prepare for and do all the swatches and everything, but that's coming, and then I'm going to do an affordable Battle of Green palettes because I've had a few affordable, more inexpensive green palettes come into my life recently that I want to test more before I do add them into the battle. So I've got this, the Avocado palette from Makeup Revolution, the Deep Dive palette from Makeup Revolution, which has more of a blue tone to it, but it does have some greens in there. So I'm working it all out, but so far I think I would give it a B+. A B+. Alright, so that is everything for today's video. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!